Have you ever hit one of those potholes that just rattles your entire car and thought, seriously, where did that even come from? Or maybe you've seen a whole street turn into a lake after just a few minutes of rain. Well, it turns out these things aren't just random little annoyances. Nope, they're actually symptoms of a huge hidden failure that's happening right under our feet. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what's going on. So think about it, a flooded street, a cracked foundation on a building, a massive pothole. On the surface, they seem like completely separate problems, right? You might think, okay, one's a city problem, one's a homeowner problem, and the other one, well, that's my car's problem. But they are all connected by one single fundamental failure. Stick with me because we're about to connect all the dots. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to meet the city's unsung hero. Then, we'll see what happens when water gets trapped with nowhere to go. We'll uncover the secret world of the foundation eaters, break down the anatomy of a total collapse, and finally, and this is the important part, we'll look at the incredible power of prevention.
To really get a grip on this problem, we've got to start by appreciating the solution that's already there, working silently 24/7. Seriously, think of it like the city's circulatory system, pumping life through the concrete jungle.
And what is this system? It's the drainage system. Its one and only job is to manage water. Every single time it rains, this incredible network of pipes and channels just springs into action, and its whole purpose is to guide that water safely away from where we live, work, and drive.
And listen, we're not just talking about avoiding a few puddles to keep your shoes dry. A healthy, functioning drainage system is actively protecting the very foundations of our roads and buildings. It's literally a guardian of public safety, making sure we can all get where we need to go safely and without issue.
So that's the ideal scenario. But what happens when our silent guardian fails? Well, as you're about to see, it really doesn't take much to set off a pretty destructive chain reaction. Let's watch how that very first domino falls. You know, the whole thing starts with something you've seen a million times. A little bit of debris, leaves, trash, some dirt. It all builds up. Once that path is blocked, the water hits a wall. It has nowhere to go. And just like that, the very system that's supposed to protect us starts working against us, causing those floods we see all over our streets. Okay, so the flooding on the street, that's what you see, right? It's the obvious part. But what happens next is actually way more dangerous because it's a completely invisible threat. This is where the real damage, the deep damage, begins. That standing water on the pavement, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real enemy is the water that starts seeping underground. It soaks the soil, turning it into mud, and literally washing away the earth that holds up our roads and buildings. It is like a slow-motion earthquake happening right under our feet. I mean, just look at the difference here. It is night and day. On one side, you've got stability, strength, protection. On the other, constant flooding, saturated ground, and a system that is in a constant state of decay. Every drop of water that isn't managed just speeds up the failure of the infrastructure we all depend on. All right, so this is it, the final act. This is where we connect all the pieces, from that one little blocked drain and that slow, silent erosion, all the way to the catastrophic failures that we see way too often. And this quote, man, this just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That awful, jarring pothole that you try to dodge every single morning, it wasn't just a random event. It's the grand finale of a long, slow process of neglect that all started with something as simple as a single blocked drain. And there you have it. The soil has been washed away. The foundation underneath is weak. It's basically mush. It just can't hold the weight of all that traffic anymore. So first you get the cracks, then the potholes, and eventually you get a total collapse. The failure is complete. And let me tell you, fixing that is going to be expensive. Okay, I know, that was a lot of doom and gloom. But here's the good news. And it's really good news. The solution to all of this is actually surprisingly simple. It all comes down to the power of prevention. The crazy thing is, this entire domino effect we just walked through, we can stop it. We can stop it dead in its tracks before it even has a chance to begin. I mean, look at this list. Regular inspections, a little bit of cleaning, proactive repairs. This isn't rocket science. These are the most powerful tools we have to protect our massive investment in our cities and towns. And if you're still not convinced, let's talk money, because the numbers here are a complete no-brainer. The cost of just doing regular maintenance is tiny. I mean, look at that bar. It's tiny compared to the astronomical cost of rebuilding a failed road. A small investment now literally saves a fortune later. It's one of the clearest, smartest returns on investment a city can possibly make.
So the next time you see a clear drain working perfectly on a rainy day, you'll know the silent, critical job it's doing. And it kind of leaves us with a big question to think about, doesn't it? If we're overlooking something as fundamental and as critical as drainage, what other invisible systems, the ones our modern lives completely depend on, might also be cracking just below the surface?